Two, one. All right. YouTube says we are live. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on time zone, wherever you guys are. Today, we'll be talking to the one and only Sentrock, the creator of Bird City Saints, the artist that's based in Chicago. Right, how are you doing today, Sen?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. I'm good. Excited to chat and get into this.
Talk about new upcoming releases, huh? All right, so okay, today we'll be going through an adventure of your journey as an artist, and we'll talk more about this guy behind me, right here, over here, this little guy behind me, the second colorway that's coming up, just I think in a few days. So stay tuned to our social media channels and websites, and also we will open up a short segment at the end of the interview for the fans, the viewers who are watching this to open up to have a few questions with you, and then
Okay,
let's just create some engagement so you can reach out to the fans and touch the fans. And then
sounds good.
we will end off this interview with a giveaway contest. Okay, we'll post a giveaway question where you guys, the viewers who are viewing in, you guys can tune in, look at the question, and you stand a chance to win one of these guys behind me. Yes. So if
Nice.
you guys want to take this guy home, just keep watching the video towards the end. All right, all right. Okay, Ken. So shall we begin?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay, so let's start off by taking things back a little bit in time where you talk about you can to go a little bit deep, you go deep dive about you as your journey as a budding creative. Talk to us a little bit about your background as an artist, your multidisciplinary approach, and your humble beginnings.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I guess we'll start from the very beginning. Born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. West Phoenix to be exact, and I got introduced to art while in school. A muralist came to my school and had a lot of the students just work on a big mural for the school. And ever since that time, it kind of inspired me and motivated me, or just opened up my eyes to a whole new world. A world that I never really used to or seen. So then from there, I just got intrigued with drawing and coloring and making art. So that was about third grade.
Ooh.
And then as I got older, I didn't really do too much art. I didn't see much. My parents didn't really take me to art shows or anything like that, or museums. So I didn't really see too much until I got to high school. And when I got to high school, it was graffiti art. A lot of my friends' older brothers, they were all into graffiti. That was just what they did. Everybody was in a graffiti crew, and they all had their homies. And me being 14 years old, a freshman, I just wanted to kick it with them. I just loved the art, and I remember just rolling with them, and we would go out. You know what we call bombing. We would go out bombing, like hitting up walls and freeways and
Mm-hmm.
rooftops, and we just did our thing. We had a good time. And that was me falling back in love with the art, finding graffiti, finding a spray can, and finding my artistic voice through spray paint and graffiti. So I think that's kind of what how I got into it, or at least where I started to find my creativity.
That was based in when you were based in Phoenix, right? Still growing up and still schooling.
Yep,
So
yep.
what made you move to Chicago?
Yeah, so I wanted to move to Chicago, a couple reasons. A main reason was I wanted to, well, I guess a lot of little reasons coming together, but I guess the excuse would have been that I signed up to go to art school. So I
Mm,
signed up for art school at Columbia College, which is downtown Chicago. I
yeah.
signed up for there, went there for, I think I did 2 semesters, and I dropped out. But I really just, I wanted to see something different. I wanted to get outside of what I knew. I wanted to see the world basically. And to me, coming to Chicago was a whole new city than growing up where I grew up. And that's just, you know, what, 8 years, 9 years later, I'm still here. It's
Mm.
just because it's one of those cities that you just fall in love with. And then the community, well, if the community loves you, man, they embrace you. So it's been a great ride.
Sounds amazing, man. Sounds amazing. What's the art scene in Chicago compared to Phoenix like? You know, what's the main difference? What's the similarities?
I would say, you know, the main thing is just there's 10 times more people that are into it. If I have, you know, you have your street art lane, you could have 100 artists and they're all doing their thing and killing it. You could have 100 graffiti writers, you could have 1,000 fine artists,
Mm.
1,000 sculptors, and they're all, you know, it's like they're not really, there is a little bit competitiveness, but for the most part, you know, if you find your lane, you just keep making work and people support. And I think that's the difference. It's just more people into the art and culture. You know, Phoenix is a big city. It's what, the fifth largest city in the US, but as far
Mm.
as like the creative art culture, it's not as big as a Chicago. Like Chicago is a creative hub, you know?
The I guess I can empathize a lot because our city here, you know, we're not that art prominent as well, and us people like us being in this industry, you know, we feel like kind of we need approval from the community, and then like with a huge community,
Right,
with that drive, there'll be healthy competition to kind of push you to go
right,
harder, and you're just happy
right.
to see the people succeed because if they can succeed, I stand a chance too, right?
Like a
So
hundred percent. You know, when you're younger, you don't think that way. When you're younger, you just think, man, that one guy that's my spot. I can't wait to take his spot. You know, that's when you know when you're younger, you have that chip on your shoulder,
correct, correct.
and you know that's good. You got to have a chip on your shoulder. You know, you need that. And then when you get older, you realize like, yo, I'm not really in competition per se with that one or couple individuals.
Hmm.
You're in competition with yourself, trying to find your own lane, trying to find your own
And
people.
now
You
grow
know what I
yourself.
mean? Like 100%.
Correct, correct. So that's the thing. I think as you grow older, you just kind of become wiser, and you realize there's no need to put someone down to put yourself up. So I guess
Correct.
like nice to see the whole community succeed. So speaking of okay, yeah, I guess Chicago has kind of really shaped your growth as an artist, you know, over the last 10 years, right? So over
Yeah,
the last
yeah, for sure.
you know, or maybe even during your childhood transitioning to a new city, you know, what were the main struggles that you faced growing up? You know, as an artist, you know, what like, you know, how people say that art can't really, you know, earn you a stable income, but we are the new age creatives that we're proving everyone wrong, right? So
Oh, for sure.
what's the struggles like the downtimes?
The struggles of like currently right now as an artist,
Hmm. Back then and now, you know.
back then, you know, I would say I think, you know, for younger artists, you know, me back then, I think understanding your value, like whether that's equates to money or compensation, or that just comes to respecting your work, your time, your energy. And I think, you know, back then I struggled a lot with understanding my value of an artist, like my time and what I created. And, you know, I think that's tough, you know. And I think, you know, of course you got the side where you got to make money to keep producing work, and that's tough at first. You know, any young artist, it's gonna be tough. You like, how much do I sell painting for? How much do I paint this mural for? Do I do it for free? Do I do it for exposure? You know, I think that's the hard part for a lot of young artists, is figuring out their lane, I guess, figuring out where they want to be with their work and their business. And then as I get older, I think a tough part right now is just knowing how to grow. Like
Right, right.
I say it all the time that like everybody gets their moment of momentum. Like every artist has their moment of shine, whether it's, you know, next year it's time for a new artist to emerge. And then the gallery is going to want to show them. The newspapers or the art magazines, they want to show the new face. And when you get that moment of spotlight, it's like, how do you continue to maximize it? How do you grow? Like for me, I had to do a lot of growing having a team around me, having a manager, having assistants, having my own studio, you know, stuff that unless you're really wanting to sacrifice and make that next step, you know, you're gonna stay in the same position.
Correct, correct. It's I mean, to sum it up, I guess it's kind of like bossing up, right? Being your own boss, starting to know what approach you want to take, the crew underneath you, you know, the people that you trust in your circle to help you take you to the next level, right?
No, for sure, for sure. I think it's hard. Artists too. They don't. Artists don't want no boss above them. You know what I mean? And then the same thing. Sometimes they don't know how to be a leader. They don't know how to be that boss. And you need both. You know, if you want to grow, you need a team. Like look at any artist. Sometimes it looks like it's just that one person, but they have a whole team around them. That you know, you got to listen to your team too. You got to listen to your the photographer who's like, no, I have a good idea for this. You got to listen to the designer that's like, yo, I have a good idea for a t-shirt. You know, you have to be able to be willing to communicate and learn and grow with people around you.
To take criticisms as constructive and not to take it personally, right?
For sure. You got to be able to take it, learn, and know that the people around you only want the best for you.
Right, right. Hey, so talking about the people around you who has inspired you or, you know, like help you your growth, you know, I'm
Right.
sure like a creatively inclined individual like you know, when you're growing up, you do have a lot of like huge name artists that you kind of look up to. So
For sure.
especially art scene in Chicago or maybe just in the whole world, like any artist you want to shout out that's inspired you?
Like current artists.
Oh, maybe any art, yeah, yeah, let's say from when you're younger and you know just growth from like when you're younger and until up to now.
Yeah, you know, of course, you know, being Mexican, Mexican American, I love, you know, Frida Kahlo,
Mm-hmm.
Diego Rivera, the Roscos, all those Mexican muralists, you know, that shared a story, that shared their personal life. Though, you know, that's what really like, that's like, all right, I'm on the right lane. I'm sharing my story. That's the right move. And then of course, you know, then you step up and you get into like Pablo Picasso,
Mm-hmm.
who of course you start off with the Cubist movement, but then you also start off with changing shapes, changing a line a face that had to be a regular face, and you know he really set the tone. You know, Van Gogh, of course, and then you get into like the what would we consider street art now is like Basquiat and
Yeah.
Warhol, and Keith Haring, and then you know they really set the way for a lot of us. And then of course you got the old graffiti writers like Dondi and Taki and all these guys that just really paved the way for what we're living off today.
Guys,
And then currently you got a lot of dope local guys. Every kid looks up to somebody right now, you know. And I definitely had the local guys that I looked up to me, you know, when I was 17, seeing a guy who's 30 years old, I was like, man, that's an OG right there. Like that dude, I look up to that person. And then, you know, me being 34 now, I'm like, man, maybe I'm that. You know, I don't feel old, but I know to some of these high school killers, they're probably these high school kids, they're like, man, this dude is an OG right here, you know, but I still feel young. So
fair enough, fair enough. I guess I mean, did how has does it inspire you more? Like, does it give you more drive to kind of push yourself a little bit more because you know the youths are right now looking up to you a lot.
yeah, 1000%. I think for me, I look at OGs that I looked up to. If they were artists, I looked up to them. And if I see them today, and I'm like, man, like they in my head, they should be, uh, you know,
Revered.
like at a high, yeah, revered at this high level. And I'm like, man, if I want to be able to set a path for all these young creatives that you keep doing what you love, you keep following your dreams, and you can get what you want. You know, you can get the life that you dream of. You could get that car that you want. Whatever, you know, it don't have to be you don't have to
Yeah,
be like objects, but you know, you could get the life you want, but still doing what you love. And
correct.
that's what I really want to set an example for.
So talking about setting an example and inspirations, you know, you've mentioned in an interview with Chicago Creatives that you're a huge fan of Park and Kendrick, who have like great
Right,
messages in their songs, great
right.
messages. So, you know,
Right.
how about how has music inspired you just in general, and maybe go a little deep about how the Chicago artists, you know, because there's a huge base of them, like Kanye,
Right.
Chance, Common, Chief Keef, you know, what we've kind of talked about off air. How have
Right.
all these artists in different realms inspired you as well?
Yeah, like well, like he's mentioned, you know, going to Tupac as a kid, that's what I grew up on. I grew up on Tupac, and you grow up on somebody who's super hood, super street, 100%. But then he can still make a Dear Mama. He can still make Brenda's
Right.
Got a Baby. You know, it's like real talking about real stuff in society, but still being like, yo, I'm still 100% from this, you know, this gangster life too, this thug life as he put it.
Mm.
Um, you know, and I think for me, musically, you look at like Kendrick, same thing. Good Kid, Mad City is you know what he.
Correct.
A lot of people know him for that album, and he's saying like, yeah, I come from this environment, but I'm trying to do something good. And I think for me, as just a kid, taking all that, not a kid, but as I got older, taking all that in, and just thinking like, man, with my work, even if I do come from this type of environment, I could say something and it means something, you know, like I could put this message out, my story out, and people are gonna value it. And I think that was one of the biggest things I took from a lot of like hip hop and rap music is the storytelling and the environment they come from.
And how they never gave up. You know, it's always about the grind, hustle. You know, and a lot of them, at least all of the artists that you've inspired by, they are, I would say, the top tier artists, like the artists
Mm-hmm.
that people will never disrespect. You know, they'll always look up to them and
Right,
the angle that they're coming from and show a lot of respect to their work and their craft and their ethics. You know, like the work ethic.
right.
That's one thing that we all should take away from all these type of artists. So now let's move on to art, specifically art.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's talk about
Wherever you
this
want to
little.
go, I'm here for it, man. Wherever
All
you
right,
want
all
to
right,
go.
all right. So let's talk about this little guy. Yes, yes.
Yeah, right here.
So I mean, I guess looking at it like on social media, on our timelines and everything, I'm pretty sure this character is pretty much iconic in the city already, right? Pretty much most people who have seen the mural somewhere in Chicago, most people who have known of your work. So let's start with the origin story of Bird City Saint, right? What's it like? How did it come about?
Okay, so we got to go back, you know, back to high school days and back to the younger me when I started doing a lot of graffiti. My first, well, not my first graffiti name, but one of my first graffiti names was Sent, SENT. Then I added Rock. So, you know, doing graffiti a lot. And then I remember I started changing from just doing letters. In my letters, like the E I would put like a face. I would put like a bird head or I put like a bird. And then I remember we would go out bombing and then I would just start painting birds. And I remember the homies would be like, kind of like clown me a little bit, like kind of make like roast me, like, bro, what you gonna paint another bird? You know, and back then, like the homies didn't really get it, but I just like doing it. I just like creating and painting birds. Would go out bombing, let me paint a bird. And then you know, over time it just started to evolve into like a bird
Correct.
mask. You know, I started to turn the mask into it because I wanted to show people that there's a person behind that bird, like there's humanity behind it. And that's just kind of how it evolved. And you know, Bird City is you know, a lot of people don't know, but for me and my friends, you know, we call Phoenix, the area I'm from, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix the bird, we call it Bird City. And then I call it Saints. I just put Saints to it because I think like the part I come from, West Phoenix, you know, people think of it like hood and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how I grew up gang banging life and this and that. But I think like, but we come from this environment, we still want to do something good, you know. Let's put that Saints on it. Let's put like something like I don't know, give it some sort of like statue, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So then just over time it just became a thing. Like I would do t-shirts, I would do paintings, and I just wrote it. It was just like a saying to me, like in my head, like Bird City, wanting to do an ode to where I come from, but also like think of birds that want to be free, want to stay fly, and that freedom it comes with it. So that's a lot of like, you know, where it comes from.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So that's the how the story has evolved, right? How about the aesthetics? Because while I was scrolling through the gram, I basically did like a deep dive and research about all your works.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've seen the aesthetics change a little bit. The mask,
It's
the
changed,
art,
yeah.
yeah, the shading has changed a little bit. So talk about the evolution of the craft.
Yeah, it's changed a little bit just because I don't know,
Feeling.
I wanted to feel it, but when I would paint a mural, I'll look at it and I was like, all right, did that hit the way I wanted to hit? Did that look the way I wanted to look? And then just over time, evolving it. All right, let me make the eyes a little bit bigger. Let me make the beak with the crack in it to show that like this bird has been through some things, like that. Yeah, that's a scar, that's a battle wound. He's been through some things,
He's a survivor.
and then I'm like, all right, let me make the mask red because before I moved to Chicago, I've never seen a cardinal. I've never seen a red bird.
Okay.
And if you ever see a cardinal, they're one of the most beautiful birds, that you'll ever see. And for me, I was like, man, that caught my eye, that red bird caught my eye. And I think like that's how I want my work to be. I want my work to catch people's eye and I want them to be like, resonate with it. And I think the aesthetic, it changed from like even in your background, how it has that like pattern in there, kind of more of like the traditional like cardinal pattern. Has like the big eye, and now it's like I have it how I want it to look now.
Oh, I just realized. So Arizona Cardinals, the football team, right? So it's
Right.
kind of based on the fact that Arizona has largely populated by Cardinals. Is it?
Well, no. Well, the funny thing is, even though they're called the Arizona Cardinals, there's no Cardinals in Arizona. It's a desert climate.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is that before they were Arizona, they used to be in I want to say Chicago. Honestly, they used to be the Chicago Cardinals or the St. Louis Card. I don't know, but
Okay.
they used to be a Midwest team, and then they moved to Arizona.
Right. I understand. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Thanks for
Yeah. So
the foreigners like
yeah,
us. Shit.
there ain't no Cardinals in Arizona
Right. Understand. Okay,
besides
so
the football team.
yeah, that's all I know. That's all I know. Right. So let's talk about So since while we're on sports, right? So
Okay.
you have a mural art piece called Hoop Dreams, right?
Hoop dreams.
So,
Yeah.
so let's just take that piece for example, and we look at that piece and kind of deep dive into how your creative process,
Right.
in creating a mural like that. I mean, it could be any murals, but let's just take like one for example. Like what was the hit to the concept? How did it begin? How did it end? How do you try to promote it after? The whole flow of it.
Okay. I did a couple. Which one was it? Can you remind me
I mean,
what
I'm
mural
just
was?
dreams as an example. Hoop dreams.
Okay, because I did a couple, and I think I did like a couple hoop themes, but I did one in Miami for Art Basel, and I drew like a basketball little mini court on there or the hoop, and that was just more of like I don't know. It was an old movie. It's called Hoop Dreams, and it was based in Chicago. And I think kind of like how the idea, like how my art is my escape, from reality. And I feel like basketball is escape for a lot of kids out here, and that's why I did that piece. And then I did another piece in West Side Chicago. It's called From Struggle Comes Strength, and it was the background was a hoop, and there's a wolf, and he was like like howling, and kids play on that court every day, man. It's a beautiful thing to see. But that was another thing. I just wanted to inspire those kids out there every day, and that's what to me that's what street art is. It's art for the people on the streets, the everyday people. If I
Hmm.
could just give the everyday person something to look at to inspire them, then I feel like I really, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
Okay, so it can the whole process always goes back to the social message or the story that you want to
Right,
communicate to the
right,
community. So I mean, I guess in this year, especially this year, it's been a crazy year, I would say. Do you find it
right.
more important for your work to convey the right social messages that you stand for?
I feel like now it's a lot. Like I feel like the crazy thing is for me is that I feel like I've been saying messages. I've been like trying to tell people like to motivate them, and now it's like like I feel like that's everybody's message, and I think it's a beautiful thing for all the artists and creatives to share their creativity to talk about social issues, and I think that for me that's what work's always been about, talking about what's going on in society. And I love to see that brands, like I just did the Converse deal, and
Right.
for them, I wrote, on the side I picked Con Sueños, and it was a little kid, and it's like, a little kid with dreams, and it's all about the empowerment of my people.
So talking about where we talk about your people, right? I read an interview where you did a little project in a little village
Right,
where you guys share a very similar cultural background. You guys
right,
share the same heritage. So
right.
what was the response like from the community, and how did it feel giving back and the community responding back to you as well?
Man, anytime I paint in a community, like a Mexican community or a Latinx community, I just feel like I'm at home, or I feel like it just feels like a sense of peace. Like I have peace when I'm creating work, because it feels like this is what I should be doing. It's like me having a conversation with a family member. You understand, you don't have to try to understand each other. Like you just feel you can say whatever you want, and then the conversation rolls. That's how I feel like when I'm painting in like a lot of like Mexican or Latinx communities. I feel like I'm having conversation like, yo, I know what we're going through as a people. I know what we've been through as a people. And then let me add this to the conversation. Let me paint this wall. It don't even have to be nothing crazy message, but I think sometimes just the art and just painting a wall and showing your creativity as a young Mexican, I think, that speaks volumes in itself.
Perfect,
So
perfect.
yeah.
It's over. I'm sure giving like on your journey as a doing tagging and like we say what's called blasting. Like when you guys I'm sure you have traveled across the country, right? Across the country to many places.
No,
You know.
I haven't, bro.
Oh really?
I haven't because when you're young and you get in trouble and you get
I
a little bit of situations on your record,
see.
it makes it hard to get your passport. But by the grace of God, I got my passport now, and this was gonna be my first year. This year was gonna be my first time going to Europe. I was gonna go to Paris, and me and my wife were gonna go to Paris. We're gonna start traveling. I was ready to see the world this year, man. And it didn't work out that way, but
Okay. How about in America? How about in America? What was the favorite
oh, I've
city?
been all over. I've been all
Where's the
over.
favorite city you've painted a mural in?
To be honest, my favorite city that I painted is a small town called Douglas, Arizona. It's on the border of Mexico and Arizona.
Hmm?
And I just feel like there, because like I painted in New York, LA, Miami. I painted everywhere. And when you're painting in those spots, you're bringing sand to the beach, basically. It's already a lot. You go to New York, there's graffiti everywhere. But when I painted in this little town called Douglas, it's on the border, man, and you could tell that it's not only like a desert, but it's a cultural desert. Like they need more work, they need more people there, because these communities, you got border patrol all over. You got, it's a interesting situation. But when I painted there, I just felt like it felt good. Like I don't know if I'll always be able to go back there, because you gotta drive like 5 miles, down to the border. But when I do stuff like that, to me that's some of the most memorable times.
Nice, nice, nice. It kind of low key feels like home, right? When you're there, just in your own zone. It's kind of like a getaway. It's your like what you say. People use dreams as like a hoops to playing basketball as like a escape, right? So doing art is like
Right.
right.
Yeah, a little bit of that too. But I just think because I don't know, I don't know if you hear it, where you're at. But over here, the border is a big conversation. It's a big conversation. It's very touchy, and there's a lot of tension right now on the border. And when I went to go paint, in that city that's on the border, if it just felt like I was giving something to that community that they might not easily get, like a New York.
Okay, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a city boy, like
Grew up in the city, right?
Phoenix and Chicago. I'm used to the city life. So when we go to the border is a little different, but it just felt like I was really using my art impactful.
Nice. That must be a dope feeling. That must be a dope feeling.
Yeah, man.
So like while we're on the topic about, like giving back, giving back to the community. So there
Right.
are events you have attended that you have fans showing up, to support you, buying your
Yeah.
work, buying your brushes, buying your toys, your designs, sneakers and everything. So
Right.
so like you've done a pop-up at Vault Gallery just recently, right? In
Right.
Chicago.
Correct.
Uh, you've done Decon in 2019, and
I did
also
decon. Yep.
ComplexCon in 2019, right? What's your, I guess, in the general idea of events, what's your favorite event so far you've ever attended?
My favorite. It's hard to tell, but I think I think the most recent one I had to give it to I think I want to say DesignerCon. I think what DesignerCon is doing is really for all levels of artists. Like when I went to DesignerCon, you have somebody with one table and their zines that they created, like little handmade magazines. And then you go a few booths down, you got big booths like Mighty Jaxx, and
Mm.
you got big brands, and it's like you have all these levels of artists all in the same building and all like adding their creativity. You can have somebody with a big vinyl piece, and then you have somebody over here with a handmade resin toy,
Okay,
and
okay.
it's just like all the creativity. So when I was there, it just it inspired me. Like, you don't have to make one type of work. Like, everybody's creating how they want. And when I exhibited there and got to know a lot of the artists, I think that was probably one of my, at least an eye-opening event for me.
Nice. So essentially, it's like a huge melting pot of creatives, whatever forms of visuals, arts, sculptures, paintings, and everything. Okay.
Yeah,
We would have loved to head back there this year or even next year.
I know.
Let's everything gets
Yeah,
better so we have
same.
our go there.
Same
Okay,
here, man. Same here.
so while we're on the topic about like events and pop-ups and everything, I see that you've done a pop-up with JBL. You've
Hmm.
collaborated with Converse. They just mentioned the what's that, the chucks that you've kind of
Yep,
custom.
yep.
I think the comment sections, the people has been saying like, bro, I just received mine, like it's crazy, it's fire, a lot of fire
Yeah.
emojis, praying emojis, like everything's looking good so far. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool, man.
So what does it?
I can't see the messages right now because I'm not on YouTube. But
Yeah. Well,
can
you
I
can
can
check.
I can I see them later?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
Let me
so
see
I
if I
mean,
can
during this
log in.
event, right, I've seen that you like, especially the JBL one, the event where to connect to the youth of the city, you have kind of like, you got the co-sign from public figures like Kenny Smith, Zach Levine, hometown stars.
Yeah, yeah.
How does that feel like? I bet it feels amazing. I bet it feels amazing.
Yeah, it feels if it well, yeah, it feels amazing because you have people on a certain level of what they're doing in their field. Like, they're the top in their field. These people are top leaders in their industry, and to be in the same conversation, or to be a top leader in my field, as an artist, it's a great feeling. And then we're all coming together to then give back to the city or give back to the kids. Like, it's a great feeling.
Nice. Okay, so now let's kind of move on to the last segment, which we will talk
Okay.
about the toys, the actual toy making portion. So, what is tell me about the story that of the first toy you've ever made, the first toy, and how did the opportunity come about? Maybe like from homing or something, and then who did you work with, and like what was the whole process like, and You know, how do you want, did it felt good, and why do you want to keep making more toys? Just basically the
Yeah.
whole venture.
Yeah. So my first toy or my first figure, it was let's see, I want to say it was a resin figure. And I reached out to a couple people who are already in the business. And I remember just learning and just watching and just knowing that I wanted some sort of like physical object, because growing up, it's like everybody played with, like for me, I loved Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. That's all we played with, Ninja Turtles, and having a physical object, it brought the artwork to life, it brought the paintings and the drawings, which is cool. But then to have like an actual object that you can see and hold, it just adds to the story, it adds more to the storyline of what I'm doing. And so my first idea was like I wanted to create my character sitting on a ledge, and we got it done with resin, and we only made like 10 because the person I was working with, he was like, man, I can only make like 10 with the setup I have, at home, just making it DIY style.
Yeah.
So we did 10, and we took them to what was the event called? It was called like 5 Points Festival in New York. We took them to New York, and we sold out quick. And I was like, man, that's dope. Like I got to do more. And then after that, I did my first vinyl figure. Let me see if I have it. So this is kind of the shape of it. So this is a vinyl, and we did it in 2 pieces. Let me see if I take the head off. So we did the 2 pieces, and then the head pops back on. And then we did like the bird with praying hands, kind of like people are like, is the bird praying or flipping me off? Like flipping, the
It
middle
looks
finger.
flipping off though.
Yeah. And I was like, it depends on your mood. Some days you wake up and you got your prayer, you're praying, and some days, you're flipping off the world. So I was like, hey, it's up to you.
That's dope.
But that was my first vinyl, and I think it's just pieces to the puzzle of my art, and adding to the story and allowing everybody, because not everybody might not spend $1,000 on a painting, but they could spend $100 on a figure or whatever, So I think that's what's important for me. So that's why I kept trying to do like physical objects. Like if you saw my pop-up shop that I did with Vault, I got a big inflatable, a big blow up, and I put it on top of the stand. And I wanted everybody to look when they come in, they just saw a big old inflatable, because I wanted it to be larger than life, when they walked in.
And the plush as well, right? Doing at the pop-up.
Yeah, I did the plushes.
That's
Shout
amazing.
out to
That's
shout out to AK. He helped me with those, and let me see if I have some right here. So the plushes, man, this is for if you're clumsy like me, you don't want to drop the figure and breaks. You can get one of these right here. You could drop it. You don't got to worry about it. But also, it's for the kids too. So, it's something for the kids to be able to see. And I think it's important for everybody to visualize, something that they want to see in this world. So that's why I got these made, to sit on the stands or whatever. And
yeah, that's dope, man. Where you can just place it off the ledge, right?
yeah, man, I had to do that. I had to because for me personally, I didn't see too much figures that were interactive like that.
Right.
I've seen a lot of standing still or sitting, but I never seen ones that can kind of interact with the ledge. Or to me, I was thinking like if somebody's at work on their desk, they could just have a little art piece or something.
Dope. Okay, so on the topic of toys, so the upcoming release, this little guy here, right? This little guy here, the Chicago second colorway is coming this weekend. Okay, so a little caveat on the artwork this toy is based off. You mentioned on your IG caption about for this mural, specific mural with the black wings. Westside kids, we don't have much, but we always thought to give. And this design is based off my homie's daughter, right? So what's the storyline behind this character in the Chicago jersey and the yellow sweatpants?
Yeah, so it was my friend Eddie, his little girl, because I was gonna paint a mural. And I wanted to show like a little kid, because the mural was in the neighborhood. It was like facing the back streets. and I wanted to have this big mural that everybody, all the kids going to school can see. So I
That's
told my
dope.
homies like, yo, send me a photo of your daughter. I'm gonna do a mural of her. I'm gonna paint her on this wall. And then he sent me that photo, and she was wearing, the Chicago jersey. She had
Nice,
like these
nice.
little like green pants. And then I was like, man, that's gonna be a dope mural. So I painted it on the south side of Chicago, and yeah, it's been like an iconic mural. It's been something that I've always will and continue to remember and share with people. So that's why I'm excited about this colorway, because it has that story that I can always share with it.
Has a deeper meaning. Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
dope.
man.
So dope. Especially when you realize, oh, so that's the part where the kids hang out, they go by every day, and then
Yep.
it's an inspiration based on your homies or. Oh, okay,
Yeah, man.
that's dope. So I guess the design, right? It's very reminiscent of that, that Harwood classic Chicago jersey, right?
The jersey. Yep.
I guess the Bulls is like a huge thing. Okay, no, I'm not guessing. The Bulls is a huge thing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
How has all these sports teams inspired you, and not, but maybe not just you, just the youth in Chicago and also around the world, like to kind of pursue the dreams? Because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of superstars that came out of Chicago. D Rose, Jimmy, and just to name a few of them, the top of my head.
Well, look at Anthony Davis.
Oh,
He's
right,
from
right.
Chicago too, and he's killing it with the Lakers right now. I think
Oh, AD,
when it AD, yep, yep.
yeah.
When it comes to jerseys, I think whether your team, that's your favorite team, or they're doing amazing, or they suck. At the end of the day, when you throw on a jersey, that's your home team. You're representing where you're at with it. Where you're based at, and I think for me, that's why I wanted to add a jersey. One, because the Chicago Bulls, they showed me love. We did a hat together, and with the hat, we gave it out to the
Oh, yeah,
community.
the new you are right, correct.
Yeah, we did a hat together, and then we were gonna give it out at a game to all the fans, but they canceled the games, so we just gave it out to the community. So shout out to the Bulls for that. And but too, like when kids wear their jerseys wherever they're from, it gives them pride. Gives them pride of where they're at and where they're from. And like you said, you get these players, or you get these kids that grow up and be the next Michael Jordan, the next Kobe Bryant, and I think it's just important to reflect, and highlight that.
Damn. Okay, that's dope, man. I mean, I forget
Or
about totally forget the collaboration with Bulls, and
yeah.
that's a massive platform, especially
Oh, that was crazy, man.
so iconic. The jersey, the Red Bull. Oh, right, correct. You did an illustration of the Red Bull as well, right? That was for the
Yeah,
New
so I
York cap.
I took the bull, and then I made him the way I do my bird mask. I took it into a bull
Correct.
mask, and there was a little kid sitting there just looking at the city, and I just thought that'd be a dope image to give out to the people.
That's huge, man. That's huge. Okay, so I guess we're nearing the end of the interview. We're moving to the
Okay.
final segment, because some closing statements. So I think
Okay.
I think right now it's kind of like we're nearing the third quarter of 2020. It's coming to an end. It's
Right.
basically
Right.
going by. The whole year is gone. I guess maybe at the start of the year, how has being quarantined or being socially distant from maybe your homies, even your friends, your family, how has
Right.
that been on you? And what skills have you kind of picked up during this period, or how did you just pass time?
Um, when it came to the quarantine, well, I like being home anyways. I like
Mm.
staying home, drawing, whatever. But it just really made me like focus in on what I wanted to do with my work. Like I had to just focus and create and give back, create images that people can be inspired by. I did a lot. I did a lot the last few months. I did a collaboration with Apple. The first time Apple reached out to a creative to do this type of classes. And what we did is we had 20 students. We gave them all iPads that they got to keep. And we taught them how to use different programs on the iPad that they can, for me, man, like I love creating, but also at heart, I'm a hustler. I could show them how to use their art to be able to make a little bit of money for their family or make some money this summer, you know, like I'm gonna teach them like, yo, make some designs, you know, make a flyer, whatever it is. Let me show you how to use these programs. And so we did that thing with Apple. I did a couple murals. I just did a lot of little things, you know, to try to keep the spirits up, you know, keep the city spirits up. Because you know, for a while, you know, I mean, even still now, it's pretty tough right now. But you know, we got to keep each other motivated. We got to keep each other, like, shout out to everybody. Shout out to you guys, you know, that are like, even during this year, you still want to drop another figure, like, you know, like that's love. And then the people who are supporting it, who are buying it, and it gives them like a little symbol of freedom, a little symbol of hope, you know.
Correct. Perfect, man. Yeah, it's been. I think it's been a rough year for everyone. You know, everyone has their own perspective and how they deal with like being socially distanced. You know, like
Right.
quarantine, 2 weeks away from like people. You know, just human interaction. I think it's a it's a it's a year for us to reflect about you know about going and moving ahead and how to be a better person, how to make the world a better place. I think
Yeah,
that's
man.
what.
It's like, you know, it was tough, man. Like I said, with the Bulls game, I was excited. My pops was gonna come down. We were gonna enjoy the game. You know, I look forward to that. But boom, canceled. Me and my wife were looking forward to going to Paris. Boom, that's canceled. Or like little shows got canceled.
Correct.
And you know, that's just the little things, you know. But you add that, and then you add what everything was going on, and people losing their lives, and you know, a lot so much. It's like, you know, sometimes it reminds you, like, you know, what all we have sometimes is our art, or is our creativity, or is the people around us, you know.
Correct. One of the guy on the live chat was saying, "Yo, I got the tickets to that game, man. F COVID."
Man, I'm heartbroken right there with you guys, trust me.
Damn.
But once we get back to it, I'm gonna make sure the Bulls, you know, let's run it back. We'll get the Bulls to do something again for sure.
That's dope. Shout out to Zach Levine, one of my favorite players from the city. One of my favorite
Oh
players.
man,
I love
he's
the
a,
trade.
he's a real good dude.
I love.
I met him once, and he's a good dude, man.
Oh, he can dunk and he can hoop. He can
Oh
really.
yeah,
I think he went kind of crazy this year, man. Average 23, 24 points.
yeah,
He's balling. Great man. It's
yep.
great to see. Coming back from like a torn ACL and everything,
I
right?
know, man. Yep.
Okay. So let's open the floor now to you. Like talk about anything you want to talk about that you're working on, that you're super excited to share with the people. You know, what's huge next that's coming up for you. You know,
Yeah.
open floor for you.
Oh well, man, I'm just excited to start working again. I got some projects. Like most of the projects, I can't talk about them until they actually happen.
Okay,
You
fair
know, I
enough.
can't talk about. You know, it's like these companies and brands, man. They're like, don't say nothing
Yeah.
until we put it out there, or they make me sign NDAs. You know, so I can't say too much. But I'm excited to be working, man. To be painting, to to keep doing. You know, I got another little pop up that I'm planning to do in my hometown, bringing some of the plushes there, and then this figure, and then you know, it's already, you know, the end of the year a little bit. To be honest, I'm looking to take a little break and get back in the studio to create a new body of work. I really want to start painting again, just in my studio. I haven't done too much canvas work, so.
Mhm. Perfect. Okay, sounds good. All right. Just give me a moment. Let me check for any interesting questions from the fans. You know, let me pick
Okay,
3 of them.
I'm
And
I'm open to all questions.
all right, perfect. So let me see. Okay. So I think oh, did Sen ever made wearable bird mask?
Wearable bird mask. I never have, but I think about it a lot, and I think about how the best way to do it and the best way to present it. But it's definitely on my to do list and my bucket list of what I want to do with the bird mask for sure. I'm
Dope.
glad somebody asked that. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I guess because it's the iconic part of your character, right?
Yeah, if I would be able to get people masked, like I would love to do that someday. Like have a big event, even if I was able to put filters in the mask. So it's like, all right, you could come to this event, wear a mask. I think it'll be great, man. I gotta find somebody to help me make it though.
All right, all right. And okay, so one more question. I think one more question from uh, from the YouTube chat. They were saying, which is the city that you want to go first abroad? Like once you guys can travel out of America, what's the first city that you love to go?
The first city that I had on my plans was Paris.
Okay.
You know, I got, that was the first city that was on my list of leaving to check out. And that was because I just finished a book about Pablo Picasso, and just the idea of, I don't know, I just wanted to check out Paris, man. And I have a lot of amazing art collectors, a lot of French people that love my work. So I'm like, man, I gotta check out this city and check out that country. So
Okay.
France is on my bucket list, and then of course I gotta I gotta check out Japan. I don't know. I want to go everywhere, bro. I want to see it all. I want to get out of here for a little bit.
No, bro.
Canada's on my list too if they let me in.
Of
We'll
course, of
see.
course. I've never been to Paris myself as well, so I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I kind of feel like we're missing out a little bit. Okay, okay. One more
Yeah.
question. Um, would you ever work with other Chicago teams? And so, what sports teams that you envision with?
I've done something with the Bears. I've done something with the Bulls. I've never done anything with any baseball teams like the White Sox or the Cubs.
Mhm.
So if anybody knows them, let them know. Preferably, I don't want to say preferably, but I'm over here on the South Side, so uh, I'd love to work with a baseball team over here on the South Side. And actually, keep your eyes peeled. I might got something to do with soccer pretty soon, so
Oh,
pretty
okay.
excited about that.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say one last question. All right. One last question. From
Okay.
All Day. So, he asked, "What's your favorite mural that you've done so far?" I think they're all like a babies. You probably love.
Ooh.
But what?
Yeah, that's a tough one. But I would say my probably top five for sure because of the meaning about it. There's one right here in Pilsen. It's on 21st and Damon, to anybody in Chicago. And it's a portrait of my homie. He goes by Tubbs. It's his wife and his daughter, and the wife is holding the baby, in the arms. And I have an exact same picture like that with me and my mom when I was a kid. And I was like, man, I gotta paint that picture. I gotta paint that. So I painted it. I painted the mother, and then I painted the baby with a little bird mask on the side of a house. And that's definitely one of my top favorite murals.
It has sentimental value,
I,
right? Very, very strong
has
sentimental.
sentimental value. Yeah, it's like has so much, but also like just giving back to the neighborhood and a lot of single mothers. Even though the Tubbs, they're together, but it's supposed to represent like the mother and child. So
That's dope.
giving respect and honor to the mothers out there.
That's dope. That's a wholesome, man. Some wholesome comment right there. A wholesome choice. Okay, so
Yeah.
we've hit like the 50-minute mark. You know,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just fly by. And thank you, so guys. Thank you. Shout out to you and shout out to all the viewers and fans that tune in and stuck around. We love you guys and we really appreciate you guys from both ends. And so, as I mentioned earlier at the start, we'll be giving away a Bird City Saints Chicago edition to celebrate this release and this interview as well. So, um, I'll be asking the question, the giveaway question. And then for all the viewers out there, listen carefully, okay? Enter your answer into the comment section after this video has stopped. And then you guys can comment. Enter your answer into the comment section. Only the answers in the comment section will be counted, okay? So,
In the comment section of the Instagram post.
of
Okay.
YouTube, yeah, of
Oh,
this interview.
of YouTube. Oh, okay.
Right. So once I end the live stream, the video will be available on our YouTube channel. So go then answer the question in the comment section. Okay. Only
Okay.
answers inside will be counted. All right. And then Sentrock personally, he will pick his favorite answer, and the winners will be announced in the comment section below on 10 October, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, 10
Okay.
October.
Just don't. You can't tell me. You can't tell me the names. You gotta just
Correct.
you know, because I don't want people to think I'm trying to have any favoritism.
Correct. No worries. We'll work it out off air. But you
Okay.
at least you get to choose. You get to interact a little bit more with the fans, and it doesn't seem like it's coming from us. So like it's just more. Let's try. Let's put it more. It's more organic this way, right? Because it's actually your comment. So all right, everybody listen up. So the giveaway question is, right? Tell us in the comment section below, which city do you wish to see a Bird City Saint mural in? Okay, so comment your answers in the comment section below once this interview has ended, and Sentrock will pick his favorite answer. All right.
Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate
Okay.
everybody.
Perfect. Just some closing statements, I guess. You want to give a shout out to your own social media page, any artists and friends, people you want to shout out to, and also any advice you want to give to aspiring artists out there.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody. You know, that on my social media, to everybody who's been showing nothing but love and support during this time. And shout out to my team. You know, shout out to God. Shout out to my wife, my manager, all the little homies that are putting in work. You know, shout out to you guys. Shout out to who else? Shout out to Mighty Jaxx. You know, making this happen. Uh, you know, I know we're gonna produce some more amazing work. And you know, any advice? I would just say, don't lose focus. You know, if we're talking about motivation. Think about the quote that Kanye said: "Shoot, what is it? Shoot for the stars. You fall, you land on the moon." I think it's kind of that same sentiment. Shoot for your goals. You know, even if you don't reach the highest goal, you never know. Like for me, it's like when I was a kid, I wanted to show at this museum. I still haven't shown at that museum, but I've shown at every gallery, street art gallery in Chicago or across the country. You know, I think just finding those goals and shoot for it and don't stop till you get it.
That's Pop Smoke's latest album, Posthumous album, right? That's the title of it.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Shout out to everyone who's turned in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sam, for your time. Thank you, all the viewers. Thank you from fans from both sides. We love you guys. Keep supporting us. And remember, all right, the question is in the chat, right? Remember to key in your answers in the comment section below. We will choose the answer. Sentrock will choose the answers and announce it. We will announce it on 10 October, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
All right. See you later. Have a good night. Or good morning.
All right. See you.
Thank you, man.